before Christmas and it's sunnier and warmer than it has been probably in the last 2 weeks, I'm okay with that. If it doesn't snow on Christmas, I'll be one of those people that will be perfectly fine. So today, we have a very sweet topic, and a topic that everyone has been asking me to cover on social media and messages and seeing me to talk about the bakeries in Rhode Island. And we've got some amazing bakeries in Rhode Island. Today, I'm fortunate enough that I have 4 guests that took time out of their incredibly busy schedules and a very, very busy week preparing for Christmas and then New Year's afterwards. So I'm very thankful for that. And all of them expressed to me how busy they are, so I know that it's important and I appreciate it. But the guest that I have joining me today is Ellen, who is the owner of Wright's Dairy Farm and Bakery. She'll be in here with me in just a couple minutes. I have James Mark, who's the owner of North Bakery and also North Restaurant. I've got Michael Manny coming in from LaSalle, another awesome bakery over there. Actually 2 locations. And then I have Carrie Smith, better known as Carrie Cupcake, is what I'm supposed to call her, is that I'm hearing out there on social media, who's coming in from Sweet Indulgence, and she's my final guest today. But all of these guests have got some amazing stories, some amazing history. They produce some beautiful and delicious and tasty products. So I'm excited to talk to them and learn about it. So hopefully this will help you make your last minute plans and then even start planning into the new year, which is a big thing we want to cover because there's a lot of things that happen in that first quarter of 2018 coming up. That being said, let's welcome in Ellen, the owner of Wrights, to get started with this beautiful stuff that's already sitting here on the table. Hey, oh my God.
Hi, Rick.
How
Thank you
are
so
you?
much
Thank you for coming
inviting
in.
me today.
And Christina's got more. Oh, look at those.
Yes.
We even got some milk.
This is
Loving
eggnog.
it. Eggnog!
This is our
Thanks for coming.
You're very welcome. This is our eggnog that we make at the farm, and it's in one of our commemorative glass bottles that we're producing every year.
That's awesome. And it's got right on it, the date, limited edition. Very cool.
So
That's
you can
awesome.
collect them. It's awesome.
So I know that Ellen has a crazy week, and I was just joking around with her, telling her that my mother-in-law called me on the way in and said, "Can you tell the owner of Wrights that I'm literally eating one of her cakes right now at a work party?" I said, "Yeah, that's going to be a priority. I'm going to do that." So I made sure that I told her. So
Excellent.
before we get into the amazing stuff that you brought, which is already making my mouth water here, can you tell us a little bit about the history? Because you have a great history going on there.
Yeah, we do. We're a 5th generation dairy farm, and my great-grandfather started the farm on Woonsocket Hill Road in North Smithfield, circa 1914, so it goes way back. Processing milk, selling milk to customers in the area. In those days, farmsteads were very, very common. You may have seen maybe 12 or 15 farmsteads just on Woonsocket Hill Road.
Wow.
When pasteurization became the standard, then a lot of those farms went out of business.
Right.
So thankfully my great-grandfather had the foresight and the resources to put in the equipment needed to pasteurize milk. And that is the same dairy that we use today to pasteurize our milk and sell it in the store.
So this has been in the family since that time.
Absolutely, yes.
That's an incredible thing. So we hear, and we have a lot of different chefs on and restaurateurs and people, and we always talk about sourcing local, and you couldn't source any more local than right there doing that, right?
No. And my parents started the bakery in the early 70s, basically to use the surplus cream and milk in bakery products.
So there was a plan there.
A little bit of a plan. They weren't bakers, but they took the leap of faith, and here we are today. It was a little touch and go there for a while, but
in the 70s, though, I mean, you're beyond a legacy with the farm, and then also in the 70s, inception of the bakery. That's a significant amount of time.
Yes, it really, really has been. When I look back, I can't imagine.
To that, we got to do some cheers, because I can't have a show that doesn't have something to drink in it. So cheers, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Just a little Brut Rosé to make the segment go nice for everybody for me.
No problem.
So the history's there for sure. The products that you produce are there. The milk can be purchased not directly from you as well, but also all over the place, right?
Well, we have a couple of selected outlets, mostly like farm stands and a few small shops that sell our milk, but generally it's mostly sold right at the farm.
And is that year-round?
Absolutely year-round.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So now, since you started the bakery in the 70s, it's been this amazing evolving situation from my hair. I've been here, 25 years now, and I've known of you, and I've been out there, and I have friends and family that feel like they said that they've been going there since they were little kids. So to go through this evolution and this process and the products that you make now compared to then, has it evolved over time?
Absolutely, it has evolved. And I've been part of that process, and I look back and I can't even imagine it and believe that it has evolved over the time. It was very small, It was just family run. We started adding a few employees. We have 85 employees now.
85 people?
And it's, yeah, I can't even believe it sometimes.
Wow, that's a significant, I mean, there we go. Now we're part of the economic impact of Rhode Island.
Absolutely,
So you got
absolutely.
buying local and employing 85 folks. That's a lot of people to have on your payroll. My gosh, that would drive me crazy. So let's get to the sweet stuff. Let's talk about, because
Sure.
I want to talk about not just holiday things, but you brought in some phenomenal things. But I also want to touch upon your cakes have been a huge thing, and you've got some gorgeous pictures on social media, just to give you a compliment there.
Thank you, thank you.
Red velvet had me drooling like you wouldn't believe. So I want to talk about the holiday things that you have going on now, but I also, after that, would like to highlight some things that are important and happen towards the first quarter of 2018.
Sure,
So
sure.
let's talk about what you got here, because this is driving me crazy.
So we have here chocolate cream pie. And this is probably one of the first products that my mother started making when they started the bakery. So we use our own milk in the chocolate pudding filling and then our whipped cream on the top.
All
So,
from
yeah, it's great. It features, you know, all of our products right here. It's one of our #1 sellers for Christmas.
My boys would dive into that. All three of them later on are going to be like, Dad, we want that. That's amazing.
This is a bûche de Noël, which is a little nod to our French heritage. And then these are our Hermit Cookies, which I had to bring them because this is the item that we feature on our website and we sell through mail order, which is
Really?
something that we'd like to expand a little bit more on.
Is that the only item right now that's on there?
Yes, it is the
okay.
only item right now.
And they're called Hermit Cookies.
Yes.
So what's in them?
It's an old-fashioned spice cookie with raisins, very New Englandish.
I like that. I can
A lot
smell
of
the aromas
transplants
driving me
will
crazy.
email us and order them.
And
for the
this,
holidays
we
or
have to
just
turn this so
anytime.
people can see like how rich and delicious this thing. Look at that.
So it's a chocolate cake with a chocolate mousse filling with a chocolate ganache on the outside.
So there's a little bit of chocolate in there.
Yeah.
A little bit of chocolate. So I gotta imagine something like these are very popular this summer.
Absolutely, yes.
What are some of the other popular items that are coming out right now that people are gobbling up from you and running over to get?
Well, of course, cookies. Christmas cookies is always one of the #1 sellers. All the different pies that we make a custard pie, again, with our own cream and milk, apple pie. We also make a fruit cake and stolen bread, lots of things that you can only get this time of year, so.
So now, is this, mentioning it at this time of year, as you transition past New Year's, I'd imagine, right? People are still buying these things up till New Year's Eve, New Year's Day.
Yes, yes.
So as you transition out of the holiday season and get prepared for the, 2018, one of the things that I put out there, and I got a lot of great feedback from all of you on, was talking about weddings, because there's so many people in the next couple days, next couple weeks, actually, that'll be getting engaged. I know from Thanksgiving to New Year's Day, it
Yes.
seems like it's the big time to do that. So weddings, birthdays,
Yes,
anniversaries,
yes.
and your cakes are a big part of that, right?
Absolutely, the wedding cakes are a big part of that, and January is like wedding season starting, I guess, because people will call and want to set up consultations to come in and sample cakes. And even in the last few weeks, I've had couples come in and say, oh, we grew up on Wright's Dairy Farm, so that's why we want to have our cake made from you. So that's like the best compliment that
That's
I could ever
fantastic.
get.
So you mentioned the coming in and sampling cakes, and tomorrow, and I'll talk about this again in a second, tomorrow I'm covering a wedding segment that we're going to be talking
Oh,
about
nice.
the process and how you go through some of these things. So sampling the cakes to come in, how does that work? Are you suggesting to the guests the types of things that they do, or are they giving you information and you're trying to make them feel comfortable? I know that when people are planning, it's a crazy process.
It
right?
is a crazy process. Some people know or come into it knowing a little bit more than others, so you kind of have to pick up on their cues. Generally, I like to sit down with them, get a feel for what they're looking for, get an idea of what their budget is, prepare some different variety of samples. Usually it's kind of geared towards the season of the wedding, and then, we kind of just talk a little bit and see,
Would that same process
What it
be used
works.
for someone that's planning larger events like corporate or bigger
absolutely,
parties, that kind of thing?
yes.
So that's an important thing to realize, is that, and I know that I'm this way, is I have a specific style cake that I like, but I'm always looking for everybody else. So if you have the opportunity to go in and sit down, you're getting an education, and it's kind of tasty at the same time, so you can't complain about
Yeah,
that.
we just did a little remodel and we call it our cake shop, and we have a nice little space that we can sit down, a little quiet, and you're able to view the cake decorators in action, so it's something to see.
That's beautiful.
As well as coming
And
in.
that's a new space.
Yes, yeah.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Now, between the farm and the bakery that's out there, do people take tours of the farm as well? Is there different
They're
things that go on?
self-guided tours, and we have audio tours that you could go and just listen on your phone, and it prompts you for different different areas and tells you a little bit about the history, a little bit about what each area does.
It's a nice connection for people to make, and one of the big things that I liked about your history and saying how you stayed in the family with it is that that's an important part. That's kind of like the fabric of Rhode Island, and for you to go from that to now hiring 85 people is a huge compliment to you. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Now, beyond the wedding cakes and into that first year, what's a lot of the other business that you kind of see that people should think, oh my God, I can call Wrights for this? Is there other things that are from birthdays to anniversaries?
Birthday cakes, first communion cakes.
First communion.
Graduation cakes. I mean, the spring is a very, very busy time with first communions, graduations, things like that. Anytime, birthdays it's huge. So whenever you have a need for a cake, we have something basic or we have something elaborate. You can sit down, we can taste some cake, or you can just.
So now, over the next 5 days, which really we have to kind of say is 4, because Christmas Day, no one's going to be
No.
wanting to come up there.
No.
So for you to come out today was
No.
very crazy, and we appreciate that, number
Thank
one,
you.
for you joining us. But over the next 4 days, are you still taking orders? Are people still able to come into the bakery and get things?
For Christmas?
Yeah.
No, we've
Okay.
reached our maximum
Okay.
capacity for orders, but I'm telling everyone, we're gonna have plentiful supply of product. It is first come, first serve, but we will have a variety of pies, pastries, cookies,
So coming right into the bakery and be able to make a selection is no problem?
no problem at all.
And then next week, are your hours after the holidays, are you open leading up to New Year's?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
All right.
Absolutely.
So, I know, because
so,
a lot of people are still celebrating.
yeah, I know, but we have a dairy farm, so the cows need to get milked every single day, so we're right back at it the day after Christmas with the bakery and getting ready for New Year's sales.
Awesome. That's a good thing to hear. I know that a lot of you, and I got this feedback, have asked me to ask each of these guys, are they open for New Year's celebrations? Because a lot of people are still celebrating Christmas along with New Year's, leading into that week with friends and family. So I will ask each of the guests to make
Okay.
sure, but that was an important thing, so thank
So
you.
yeah,
for
we
that.
are closed on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, but we are open the day before each
Oh,
holiday.
God, you need 2 days of rest. I don't think the cows are going to give you a rest.
No.
The cows are okay.
The cows don't care.
So
They don't care if it's a holiday.
So before I let you go, I had a couple fun questions that were asked of me on social media. How many cows are there?
We're milking 100 cows, and we milk them twice a day.
100 cows.
4 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon.
Wow, I need to drink just to that.
It's a lot of work.
Did you just say 4 in the afternoon, 4 in the morning?
Yes.
And how many people have to go out to take part of that process?
2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon.
To do 100 cows?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a nice automated milking parlor, which has a nice big viewing area. So if you come by, you can view the cows being milked from 3 to 5, and it's a great little thing to take the grandchildren
I was
or
going to say, that's
kids
going to
down.
be a great thing for kids to be able
Yeah.
to come see it and understand that. And it goes back to the culture and the history of Rhode Island. All right, did I
Sure
miss
does.
anything? Because I got the great news about the new shop opening up for people to come in and get the consultations.
Absolutely.
We covered a lot of the pies, the cookies. Is there anything I left out that you can think of? The milk's important.
The milk is very important, and when you start your diets January 1st, remember that we have skim milk that's 99% fat-free, but 100% flavor.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And to get local grown milk is a great thing to be able to do. I mean, I know there's companies that deliver and then it's out there, but to be able to have that option and for someone that's had this long a history, that's a fantastic thing. All right, I think I got everything in, right? We got some
think you did.
education there, we got some news in there. I'll be digging into one of these the second I get off the air, so I'm sure someone will take
Sounds
a picture
good.
to laugh at me for it. But thank you so much for taking the time to join
Thank
me.
you
Have a
very
Merry
much.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.